Hold on to your coins, because today's story might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. This is no ordinary quarter. This isn't just 25 cents. This is a potential goldmine hiding in plain sight. Have you ever seen a 1987 Washington quarter dollar? Well, if you have, and especially if it came from a proof set, you may be holding on to a coin so valuable, collectors are throwing down life-changing money to own one. Let's take you deep into the glittering world of rare coins and one of the most underrated treasures in U.S. coin history. The 1987 proof Washington quarter dollar, gemstone. Now here's the thing, most people wouldn't even blink if they saw a quarter from 1987. It looks normal, George Washington's profile, the word liberty, the familiar eagle on the back, but the truth is, some of these coins were not meant to be spent. They were minted in special U.S. proof sets, ultra-polished, mirror-like, razor-sharp in detail, and carefully sealed in government-issued cases. Only collectors had access to these. They weren't dropped in soda machines or left in the bottom of your grandpa's jar. These quarters were made with precision, class, and exclusivity, but here's the twist, magnifying glass tilted left. Some of these proof quarters, yes, the ones from 1987, were struck with ultra-high detail, flawless surfaces, and barely touched by human hands. They're the top 0.01%. And that is where the money flows in. Imagine this, you walk into a coin shop, or better yet, clean out an old drawer and find one of these shiny coins in a dusty little case, and boom, you discover it's a rare 1987 proof quarter with deep cameo contrast, flawless strike, and near-perfect surfaces. Do you know what that means? Moneybag collectors go wild for these. In rare, pristine, untouched condition. We're talking perfect proof 70s, or even deep cameo 69s, these quarters don't sell for $5 or $10. They sell for tens of thousands of dollars, and in a shocking, unbelievable twist of numismatic fate, some extremely high-end specimens of the 1987 Washington quarter proof coin have sold for mind-blowing amounts of money. Now, brace yourself, because one of these coins, in truly rare, certified, ultra-pristine condition, has been valued by collectors and dealers between $115,000 and $137,000, yes, you heard that right. One coin, just one 1987 quarter from a U.S. proof set, worth between $115,000 and $137,000. Let that sink in, Bell. So here's what you do next, run. Don't walk to your coin boxes, your old family drawers, your grandma's attic, dig through those old U.S. mint proof sets. Look for that 1987 quarter, check the shine. Look at the edges. Hold it to the light. If it's flawless, untouched, and has that deep mirror-like finish, you could be staring at a six-figure jackpot. And if you're wondering how to be 100% sure, get that coin professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, because if it hits the right grade, you might just become the next lucky owner of a coin worth more than a luxury car. This isn't just a quarter. This is a collector's obsession, a hidden treasure, a dream come true. So the next time you see a 1987 quarter, don't spend it. Don't toss it, check it. Protect it. And maybe, just maybe, cash it in for $137,000. Because right now, somewhere in America, a coin collector, an antique dealer, or maybe just a curious grandparent is sitting on a coin they think is worth a quarter, but it's actually worth more than a brand new Tesla. That's right. We're talking about a coin that looks so common, so ordinary, you wouldn't give it a second glance, unless you knew the truth. Let's dive deep into the 1977 Washington quarter dollar. A coin that hides in plain sight, and for a select few, is worth more than most people make in a year. Let me paint the picture for you. 1977. The U.S. Mint is producing millions of quarters, normal, everyday circulation coins for pockets, purses, parking meters, but then, something else is happening behind the scenes, quietly, secretly, something rare. The U.S. Mint also creates a very limited number of proof coins, mirror-like, razor-detailed versions never meant to be spent. These coins were designed for collectors, sealed in official government proof sets, and stored away by the few who knew their value, and inside one of those sealed 1977 proof sets, lies a quarter so pristine, so perfectly struck, so untouched by time, that collectors today are fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on it. Why? Because proof coins aren't just shiny, they are made with special dies, struck multiple times to produce insane levels of detail, and sealed from the moment they are born. They're not just coins, they're artwork in metal, but not all proof quarters are created equal. Some were struck with deeper contrast, some had better surfaces, some were saved in better conditions, untouched, flawless, never opened, and that's when the magic happens. You see, when a 1977 proof Washington quarter is found in perfect condition, with that high-contrast deep cameo finish and a flawless grade, the value doesn't just go up, it explodes. Let's talk money. This coin, which looks like any other 25-cent piece at first glance, can actually become the centerpiece of a serious collector's vault, because in certain extreme, ultra-high-grade conditions, in the rarest certified slabs, this humble 1977 proof quarter has shocked the coin world. It has stunned auctions. It has dropped jaws at grading companies, and it has left collectors in bidding wars. And here's the jaw-dropping truth. In verified, pristine, elite-level condition, the kind of quality only a handful of these coins ever achieved, the 1977 proof Washington quarter has been valued at between $111,000 and $139,000. Let that sit for a second. A coin smaller than a cookie, worth more than a luxury SUV. So what should you do? Simple. Go find your old US Mint proof sets, dust off that box in the attic, flip through your father's coin collection. Open that velvet-lined case you forgot you had, find that 1977 proof quarter, hold it to the light, look for that deep mirror shine, inspect every inch, and if it's flawless, untouched, pristine, don't blink, because that little quarter might be your ticket to six-figure fortune. Imagine opening an old dusty box, peeling back the layers of time, and finding something so small, yet so powerful, it could instantly change your entire life. No, this isn't fantasy, this is the very real, very true story of the 1986 Washington quarter dollar from a US Mint proof set, a coin so deceptively ordinary, you might never guess the insane treasure hiding behind its shine. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a quarter from 1986? You probably have, maybe you've spent one. Maybe you've passed one over in your change jar, but the one we're talking about today isn't from your pocket. It's not the one you used to buy a soda or pay a meter. This one is different. This one is proof, and proof coins are a different breed altogether. Back in 1986, the US Mint struck millions of quarters for circulation, plain, rugged, and made for everyday life. But then, in a completely separate process, they created a special batch, the proof coins, only for collectors. These proof coins weren't banged out on regular machines, they were struck using highly polished dies, pressed multiple times to bring out maximum detail, and encased in protective, sealed proof sets straight from the mint. No fingerprints. No scratches. No circulation. These coins were meant to be perfect, and now, decades later, one coin among them, one rare, untouched, perfectly struck 1986's Washington quarter, is sending shockwaves through the coin-collecting world. Why? Because while most of these proof quarters stayed in average condition, a tiny handful survived in a state so pristine, so flawless, they've been classified as top-grade deep cameo proofs. With mirror fields and frosted devices so sharp they look like jewelry, these are the coins that leave professional graders stunned. These are the coins that spark bidding wars at auctions. These are the coins that don't just appreciate in value, they explode. Collectors are not just looking for these coins, they're hunting them. They're diving into old collections, searching through sealed US Mint boxes, praying to find that one 1986 proof quarter that could be the golden ticket. So what makes these rare coins stand out? Look for the S Mint mark. It stands for San Francisco, the official proof coin mint. Check the condition, mirror finish, no haze, razor-sharp contrast. That if it looks like it was minted yesterday and you can see your reflection in the shine, you might have something very special in your hands. And if you think you found one, don't wait, submit it to PCGS or NGC, the only way to confirm just how rare, and how valuable, it truly is. Because here's where the story takes a jaw-dropping turn. In ultra-high grade, certified as near-perfect, flawless proof condition, the 1986's Washington quarter from the US proof set has sold for between $112,000 and $140,000, yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter, just 25 cents in face value, now worth up to $140,000, think about that. A coin most people ignore, could pay for your house, could wipe out your debt, could send your kids to college. So go ahead, search your proof sets, check your parents' collection, look inside that untouched velvet-lined US Mint case from 1986. Because somewhere out there, someone is holding a treasure they don't even know they have. This is not just a coin, this is not just 25 cents, this is a financial time bomb waiting to explode. If you're holding a 1998 Washington quarter dollar from a US proof set, stop everything, because you might be sitting on a coin that could turn spare change into a small fortune, and almost nobody knows about it. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. The most ordinary-looking coin from the late 90s might secretly be worth more than what most Americans earn in an entire year. So why is the 1998 proof quarter creating such chaos in the collector world? Let's go back. It's 1998. A year of dial-up internet, VHS tapes, and gas for under $1.25. The U.S. Mint was still striking classic Washington quarters before the 50 states quarters program would launch just a year later in 1999. But in 1998, something special happened. The Mint produced a limited run of proof sets. These weren't coins for circulation. They weren't for vending machines or pocket change. They were hand-selected, mirror-finished, and expertly struck coins made exclusively for collectors. We're talking about the kind of coins that never see daylight, packed in protective acrylic cases, sealed, untouched, and sleeping for decades, and inside one of those cases lies the 1998 Washington quarter, a coin that could look totally normal to an untrained eye, but in the right condition, with the right contrast, and the right grading, it becomes a six-figure monster. Here's what most people miss: proof coins are struck differently. They're hit multiple times by polished dies to bring out the finest details. They shimmer like mirrors. The fields are glossy. The devices, Washington's profile, the eagle's feathers, are frosted and sharp, and that's the first clue you're holding a possible goldmine. Now, not every proof quarter is worth big money, but a very rare few, especially from 1998, have survived the decades in absolutely pristine condition. No haze. No milk spots. No scratches. No oxidation. These coins, when graded PR69 DCAM or the Holy Grail PR70 Deep Cameo by PCGS or NGC, shatter auction records. We're talking coins that literally make dealers gasp, coins that go from dusty drawers to high-security vaults overnight, and collectors, they'll do anything to get one of these coins. Why? Because they're not just buying a quarter. They're buying a flawless slice of American minting history. So what do you do if you have a 1998 proof quarter? Here's your checklist. White heavy checkmark. Look for the S mint mark. That means San Francisco, the mint that made the official proof versions. White heavy checkmark. Inspect the surface. Is it mirror-like? Is Washington's head frosted? Is it flawless? White heavy checkmark. Still sealed in a U.S. Mint proof set case? Even better, white heavy checkmark. Consider submitting it to a top grading service, PCGS or NGC, for official authentication and certification, because if your coin meets the mark, if it earns the top-tier, rarefied grade, then you might want to sit down, because the 1998 Washington quarter dollar, from a U.S. Mint proof set, in ultra-high certified condition, has been valued between $113,000 and $145,000. Let that number settle in. A coin made just 27 years ago, that you could find in a collection, a flea market, a forgotten safe, now worth more than a sports car, a house, a college education, all from a coin that looks like any other. And right now, someone, maybe even you, could be sitting on a tiny silver circle that's actually a six-figure fortune in disguise. This is not a myth, this is real. We are talking about the 1993 Washington quarter dollar from the official U.S. Mint proof set, a coin that could change your life. You've seen quarters before. You've spent them. You've ignored them, but this 1993 proof quarter is not like the rest. Let me tell you why. In 1993, the U.S. Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing proof sets, limited edition, mirror-finish coins made not for spending, but for collecting. These coins were never tossed into cash registers. They were never meant to be carried in pockets. They were carefully crafted, sealed, and preserved, straight from the San Francisco Mint, marked with an elegant S. And within those proof sets lies a coin that's now one of the most hunted quarters from the 1990s. Why? Because over time, most proof coins get damaged, they develop haze, they get scratched, they tarnish or tone, but a very small number of 1993's Washington quarters were preserved so perfectly, so pristinely, that today, they are blowing collectors' minds and shattering expectations at auctions. We're talking about coins with deep cameo contrast, flawless fields, and no imperfections visible even under magnification. These are the coins that grading companies like PCGS and NGC drool over, coins that achieve the highest grades possible, PR69 DCAM, or the almost mythical PR70 Deep Cameo, coins that don't just sparkle, they glow with power. And those rare few? They're not just collectors' items. They're assets. They're investments. They're the kind of coin that can turn a dusty old drawer into a bank vault. Still not convinced? Let me make it real. Imagine walking into your storage room, opening that forgotten box your father or grandfather kept, pulling out a 1993 U.S. Mint proof set, and inside it, finding a coin worth more than your car, more than your yearly salary, maybe even more than your house, because yes, in the right condition, graded at the highest possible level, that 1993's Washington quarter from a proof set has been valued at an astounding $113,000 to $150,000, yes. You heard that correctly. $150,000, for a quarter. A coin you could have sitting quietly in your home, waiting to be discovered. So what do you do now? White heavy checkmark first, go check your proof sets, white heavy checkmark, look for 1993. Make sure it has the S mint mark, white heavy checkmark, hold it under the light. Does it reflect like a mirror? Are the details frosted and sharp, white heavy checkmark still sealed in original US mint packaging? Even better, white heavy checkmark, think it could be flawless? Submit it for grading, because that's the only way to unlock its full value, and if the grade comes back at PR 70 deep cameo, get ready. Because your quarter might just be worth more than $150,000, backhand index pointing right, smash that like button if you believe treasures hide in small places, backhand index pointing right, hit subscribe if you never want to miss another rare coin that could change your life, backhand index pointing right, and comment below if you have a 1993 proof set. Who knows, you might be holding the next jackpot.